we are under some restraint as far as advice from legal counsel. So certainly know that we don't mean any disrespect, but that is a limitation we're operating under. If anyone who has a comment on that or any other subject, certainly given the hour, brevity would be appreciated. And certainly we would be anxious to hear any comments made in a respectful and professional type tone. So that being said, are there any comments from the public on any non-agenda items? Yes, sir. And please identify yourself as you can speak.
Thank you, Commissioners. John Northweather, slip holder, D-Dot Camp Ranch. Basically, I had a couple of questions which I know really can't be answered, but I do want them out there anyway. The first has to do with the 30-day abandonment. Since the discussion on it has been tabled for the last 2 or 3 weeks, we are going to bypass the 30-day abandonment clause in the fee schedule. So I'm actually just asking for the people that have boats there that are still winterized, have no way of moving them out. Some have been locked out of their area. What is going to be going forward on that? Are their boats going to be towed? Where are we looking at there? I know that that won't be answered more than likely, but I want it out there just in case. As for my second point, you spoke earlier about bringing stuff out into the public. Commissioner Ridgway brought up that she didn't appreciate that very much. I'm here to say that that's the only way it can be done. I send emails to you guys take phone calls. One person on this commission will write back to me. If it's not brought out in the public, it's not responded to. It's put under the rug, it's tabled, we don't talk about it. Hey, understandable. If it's hurtful to you, I wouldn't want to talk about it either. I'm really almost done. I got a couple more things. One is about the maintenance meetings that we had 3 of our people from great people, Terri, Don, my new house. Maintenance meetings were being done on a regular basis. We had an election. All of a sudden, there's no more phone calls. There's no more meetings. There's more nothing. You have what you want. You're good to go now. We'd like to know about those. When can those be rescheduled? When could we get those back on the table so that some things can actually be fixed? I'll leave with this. Your executive session this morning, it was pathetic. It was nearly 3 hours long. We were told 20 minutes, possibly 30. It was the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen from somebody in your guys' positions. I thank you for your time. I'm done.
Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say your last name?
Northweather.
Thank you. I do want to once again apologize for the very long executive session. It went on longer than certainly I anticipated. Again, my apologies, and I appreciate the fact that so many people did wait in spite of the fact of the carol night. So once again, my apologies for the inconvenience. I know that doesn't take care of it, but certainly I think an apology is in order. So, is there anyone else here who would like to comment on non-agenda items?
Hi, my name is Stacy Long. I feel like a couple of you are familiar with my face and voice up until this point. Commissioners, are you familiar with our individual situation at this point regarding the boat slip? I'm not going to go into more details on that. Are you familiar with our position? Yes.
Again, without commenting deeply, I think we have some level of familiarity. I think that's fair to say. Is that, Mr. Counselor, within bounds?
Okay. So I'm just going to read, as other times I feel like we've talked back and forth. I understand that you guys are bound within that, and I'm respectful of that. I just wanted to give you a little perspective into why I'm persistent at this point, I guess. So I stand before you for the 3rd week in a row. Each week I hold out for a little bit of closure, maybe, or an end to this mess. I bring my frustrations here to you and to the public because I don't want them harbored in my home. I've never tried so hard to pay for something in my life. I just want to hand over a check and in return have the boat slip. You want our situation to be done behind closed doors, I feel like. You want lawyers to handle it, and I believe that's because you don't want your mistakes aired. That's not transparency. We all make mistakes. I'm not here to call you out on those mistakes. However, I'm in fear that the actions you're taking in order to hide these mistakes are harmful to others. 3 people have now lost their jobs at the marina. Employees here are reaching out and encouraging me to be a voice because of the way that you're treating myself and other citizens.
Oh, Mrs. Long, before you proceed, I just want to make sure I caution you that tonight, and I don't think you were going to, but not to use specific names of employees.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Please proceed.
I want to remind you that when I first approached you, I felt like I was caught up in some political mess. When I said that the first time, I had no idea what I had gotten myself into. I feel like the way you guys are handling this is just unnecessary. It'd be difficult to back up now and admit the wrongdoings, but I'm going to explain to you why in my line of work that's essential. I'm a pediatric nurse at Children's Mercy Hospital. Thanks for the donation there, or the attributes too. I work for a wonderful facility that understands that we are all human. We make errors, and to be accountable for those mistakes is humbling, and it can be fearful, can create fear in you. I not only have to admit my errors, I immediately have to notify correct providers, gather information on how to fix it, and I have to inform that family of my mistake. In some cases, that mistake may cause direct harm to patients, can delay care, or can even move forward into a process change. We have system in place in my place of work to recognize those errors and without punitive action, make others aware as to not make those same mistakes twice. We keep the child at the foremost part of our job. It's easy for me to put this in perspective today. I'm talking about a boat slip. In my line of work, I'm treating a child. I hope that you guys have enough respect for your character and the people that you serve, that you can acknowledge the mistakes that were made and help make it better. I want you to humble yourself, admit those errors, and we can all move forward with a process change. I believe that when you took your positions in public office, that your intention was for good, for the works, for the public. I don't want the negative bullying tactics by some overshadowing the persistent good that I've seen others in this room do for me in just 3 weeks. If along the path you've gotten caught up in a personal agenda, then I ask that you remember your initial drive to be in the positions that you're in. Use your powers for good. I hope that at some point, just as much good can publicly come to Clay County as some negatives in regards to the lake. I think we both know neither of us want our boat to be taken off of that lake at this point. I think that the lake is a wonderful place, and I hope that you guys have enough respect to give it what it needs right now. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you, and again, my apologies for the length of our executive session, and appreciate your patience to hang in there and make your comments this afternoon.
Thank you.
Commissioner Richmond, please.
Are you on DDOC?
No, we are not on DDOC.
Mr. Administrator, are we delving into areas, or, excuse me, Mr. Council, I started looking at one saying the other. Are we on the right side of the discussion so far?
I think it's actual employees.
Okay, thank you.
We are not on DDOC, no.
You're on CDOC or which one?
I would have no problem telling you that, but I've also been informed by me even speaking publicly could warrant not legal matters, but personal vendetta against me. So instead of disclosing where our specific boat is, if there's other people that have, I have no problem coming to you after and telling you.
No worries.
Okay,
Thank you very much, I appreciate your time.
sure.
Are there any other?
Yes, Terri Welk, slip over at several frequent visitor here and speaker. I'll try to keep it brief. We could all learn from the 2 individuals that came today to speak on the resolution 2017-57, which was taken off the agenda. As Commissioner Ridgway did indicate, a lot of people take time out of their day to come and speak to what they see that's on the agenda. So I think that, that agenda item certainly warranted them coming forward. And thankfully, Stacy Long and John Northweather were willing to stay around for the public comment, since this is the only time that we can speak out. Phone calls are not returned, as John indicated. Stacy has also indicated the same practice. She's observed that as well. But we could learn from the people that did come and that did stay, had the willingness to stay, even though we had an extensive recess, which included, refreshments being served, etc. Perhaps that's a new position for the county. You could have a little hospitality suite or something during the meetings when there's a recess. But I do admire Dawn for speaking. Dawn has come before this commission before, and was also involved in the group that John mentioned earlier that was willing to put together a list of maintenance items, which is not news to anyone here. And Don has actually spent a lot of his personal time speaking out, not only for himself, but for other people. And I see that Stacy has those same qualities as well as John. I admire Don for speaking out on behalf of himself and others. And I also respect him and admire him because he had to leave today, because he has a job that he gets paid to do, just like everyone that works for a paycheck. He is a professional, and he understands the importance of doing the job he's paid for. That's called integrity, I believe, in my book anyway. But that's an example that many of us in this room, staff, commission, public, could all learn from that example. Stacy sat by patiently today to have an opportunity to address the same resolution 2017-57, which was, as we all know, removed from the agenda. Ms. Long has taken time from her busy schedule, that of a young working mother of 3, to be here today, and has a pretty admirable position working in the healthcare field with children. So I know she has stresses that none of us can really understand. So for her to take time to be here today, and the other 3 occasions, not to mention the stress that this has added to her life, is really admirable, in my opinion. I was going to say something about that she had to leave, but I'm so glad that she did come back, because she did sit through all of that, and she was actually willing to leave, because she didn't want the power for someone to steal the goodness from her. She has a great family, she has pure motives, but to see how the session was conducted today, where basically everyone that did show up today was shown a great deal of disrespect, because a 3-hour session to handle something in an executive session when it's obvious that people are here to speak to resolutions. I mean, Stacy can only take so much out of her day. She works every day. I assume you work 40 hours or more, probably? Okay, there you go. The nurse's schedule, right? But she did leave, but then had the courage to come back, and I admire her for that as well. She's been willing to speak out on what appears to be a simple misunderstanding with the county, which is what she just talked about. But lo and behold, she's quickly learned that there's something far more complex going on behind the scenes, or it appears to be anyway. And that has resulted in her family potentially losing their boat slip. She doesn't deserve that. She doesn't deserve to be disrespected in that manner. She has come forward to try to see resolution to this to no avail, and I understand there's potential litigation situation here, but for her to have the courage to come back, I admire that. She also sets an example that we can all learn from. She has pure motives, and she is speaking out for her family and on behalf of others now that she sees what is happening here. Stacy coming forward has revealed and brought a lot of necessary visibility to ongoing issues between the county and the patrons of the lake. All of us that have taken time to be here today have a common goal. We want to have our voices heard, and we want to see goodness come from what has become a huge mess. I think it was quite an education to some of the people that came for, I hope it's the right terminology, replatting of their property, etc. Talking to several of them during our extensive recess, they had no idea that this is the way things were conducted. And, it would be interesting if someone could take the time to speak with some of them, just to see their observations. They have no skin in the boat slip game, but they can certainly see what appears to be delay tactics, perhaps, just kind of very bizarre behavior. But I do thank those people for coming, and I tried to talk them into coming and speaking up in public comments, because they all certainly had something to say, because we took up a lot of their time today, just for approval of their resolution to replat their land or rezone it. But rather than taking up valuable time for people like that, when it's actually lake-specific issues, in this type of a forum, perhaps a session that actually seeks input from the people that use the lake. The boaters, the golfers, the equestrian people, people that use the bike paths, the shooting range, campers, people that use the beaches, etc. A forum where people can actually come forward and say, we love these things about the lake. We wish these things could be a little better. There's a huge community out there. People that live in Clay County, people that travel from other states every weekend to play on the lake that we all love. But our motives are to actually make the Smithville Lake facility the best it can possibly be. A forum of that nature would give you all opportunity to hear from individuals that have no bone to pick, that just want to give you some feedback. They would be interested to know that you really care what they think about the lake and the facilities that are provided there. That's all I have to say. Thank you for your time and consideration of a possible town hall forum. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other